This video demo is going to share with you how to complete the Mākālei College of Education application. So what you see here on the screen is the login page. There are two ways to start an application. One is if you're already a UH student and you have an active email address and password, then you can go ahead and log in using the UH username and password button. Otherwise, if you do not, such as you haven't been a UH student before, or maybe you were a UH student a while back and you no longer have an active account, that's fine. You can use your personal email and password, but just be sure that before you do that, you need to create an account first. So what you'll do is you'll start your own account, you'll input your information, it will email you a verification, and then from that point forward, you can always come back to this application and log in as many times as you need using this personal email and password. If you still have trouble getting into the application, then you can always contact mākālei@hawaii.edu for assistance. After you log in to start a new application, you'll either be taken straight into a new application to complete if you have not yet applied in the past. Otherwise, if you have, let's say you've applied to a different program or in a different year, it'll take you to this screen where you'll see any previous applications that may have been started. And if that happens, all you need to do is just go ahead and click Start a New Journey. So for this demo, I'm going to show you how to complete the Mākālei application for our post-baccalaureate certificate in special education. So to get started, you're going to choose a post-baccalaureate certificate. And then you're going to choose the post-baccalaureate certificate in special education as your program. Click Start Journey. And you'll see that there's 4 kind of stages to this application. So to begin, you'll just select your program options. So make sure it has the correct spring semester that you're applying for. It is a licensure program. Here for your major, you do need to determine, are you applying for the mild moderate track or are you applying for the severe and autism track? So make sure you select the one that you are interested in. It is a statewide program, so there's no options for that. But again, at the bottom, you'll need to select, well, which island will you be on while you are completing this program? So go ahead and just pick the one you're on and push continue. Now, a majority of what you're going to be submitting as part of this application can be found in your admissions checklist. So you're going to push start. And here you'll see the different components that you need to complete. So this is a checklist with more information. So all you need to do is click view this task. It'll give you some more information. And for most of these, you just have to check the box that you've either read it or did it or can confirm that you understand. And once you do, you push save. And you'll see that instead of this box, it changes to a green check mark. To submit your application, you'll need to make sure that all of these items are checked off before you can actually continue on. This button will light up blue and you'll be able to go on for a couple more pages and then officially submit your application. So just make sure that you can log back in as many times as you need and just start working on these as quickly as possible. So there's a couple that are easier than others. So for the UH system transfer application one, they just want you to know that you do also need to apply to UH, and we use the transfer application for our post-bac certificates. So this is the link. Depending on the time of year, the application for spring opens up a little bit later than us in the College of Education. So it might not be open depending on when you are starting your application. But we will notify everybody if it's not open. If you start your application, we'll send you a notification once it is. Otherwise, just go ahead and use this link to apply. You are just stating in this application that you're aware that you do need to also submit this application. So as long as you're aware of that, and we'll make sure that you get that done, then go ahead and check the box. Verifying program eligibility is pretty simple as long as you have a copy of your unofficial transcripts. We just need to verify that you do in fact have a bachelor's degree and that you meet the minimum GPA requirements, which is a 2.75 for our post-bac program. If you have a 2.5 or higher, you're still welcome to apply. And if you have a really strong application, it can be warrant for admission. However, if you have less than a 2.5, it'll be an automatic deny, and you need to get in touch with our academic advisors to pursue something called amnesty. If you have any questions about that, reach out to us at spedinfo@hawaii.edu for more information. But for this part, we're just trying to make sure that you are indeed eligible to apply to this program. And so you can use this link to upload unofficial transcripts. We do not need your official ones in this application, but you do need your official ones for your UH application later. So we just want to point that out. It does get a little tricky since there are two separate application portals, but for this particular one, unofficial are fine. So once you upload it, you can check the box that it's done and push save. Now I'm going to show you. So if there's any time that you come into an item and you're not yet done with it, you can just go to this top right X and go back to the checklist, and you'll see that it's not checked off yet. So video recorded responses and essay. We have a presentation here. A lot of people are unfamiliar with how to do this, and so we created something to just kind of give you a demo on what it looks like, some tips for doing it, things of that nature. But here, this green box is the actual technology platform that you're going to use to complete this component. So make sure you click on that, you complete it in a separate system, and then you need to come back into your application once you're done and check the box that you actually did it. So don't forget that. Sometimes people think they're done once they submit those, but you do need to come back into the Mākālei application and make sure that you've checked this box and push save. So the personal statement and essay is the same for anyone who's applying to any of our licensure programs, and you can actually work on this essay at any time. So just grab this prompt if you want to, and you can write it in a Word doc, a Google Doc, it doesn't matter, and then you can copy and paste it in here, or you can just write and type directly in here. The prompt is the same for everybody. And, while it's not a strict 500 words, we're just giving you an estimate that, if you can keep it within that range, about 1 page, that would be fine. And then so after you enter your essay in here, just check the box and push save. For the resume, you just need to upload it. So you're going to use this link here. We're just looking to see what kinds of experiences you've had, whether they're employment, but maybe it's volunteer or just personal, anything like that. So it's not a requirement for entry, but we do know that a lot of people do have a lot of wonderful experiences. And so if you have a resume that's already been built, then just go ahead and upload it here. Otherwise, you can create one and then upload it. Moving on to your professional references. What's really great is you do not need official letters of recommendation. This is a lot easier. So all you're going to need to do is put their name, their email, the phone number, and then there's a drop down for the type of relationship that that person has with you, such as maybe they're a principal, maybe there's someone you teach with, things like that. So do not worry about waiting and getting letters. Instead, what will happen is as soon as you complete this, they will be emailed a Google form to complete, which is a lot faster and easier for them. You can check in with them to make sure that they received it. Sometimes it does go into maybe like a junk mail folder and they never got it. And if that happens, go ahead and email spedinfo@hawaii.edu and let us know who it is and which email address you would like us to send the link directly to so that it doesn't get lost in any kind of junk mail folder. And all you need to do for the application is just input this information and say that you did it and be done. So you do not need to wait for them to fill out that form. We will manage it on our end. Almost done. Over to repeated courses. This is helpful if your GPA is kind of around the minimum, or if it's a little bit below. What you can do is you can look at your unofficial transcripts, and anytime there's a course that maybe you didn't do well in the first time and then you retook the same course, if you put that information in here, Our academic advisors will adjust your entrance GPA by removing that first course that didn't do as well. So it can kind of help boost your GPA if you need it. Otherwise, if you don't need it, you haven't repeated courses, you just check the box and you're done. And then finally, the last one, prior post-secondary program enrollment. This is just seeing if you've ever been dismissed from a program before. If you have, you push yes, and then it gives you the opportunity to just explain the circumstances around why. And so all you need to do is either you haven't, and you can just say no, or you can choose yes and let us know. So as you can see here, those are all the items that you need to complete. It shouldn't take too long to get through all of them, but if you need to and you can't do it all in one sitting, you can always push save for later and then log back in and do it at another time. What you'll see is that this button is still not ready. I can't move forward until all of these things are done. So I won't be able to show you the next couple pages, but once it is done and you move forward, it'll ask you for things like fingerprinting. So it'll ask for your social security number and just to verify that all the information you've provided is correct. You want to continue on until you see the page that says, thank you for submitting your application. And once that's done, then you'll know that we have it on our end and that we can start processing it. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at spedinfo@hawaii.edu.